Oops, wait. Live. Cool. Oh, my camera. Are you waiting on me?
No, I'm making sure this thing goes live.
Oh, okay, cool.
It says it's going live. I don't see it live, but it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see over here if it looks like it's gone live. All right. Okay, looks like we are live. Hey everybody, welcome to Fort Myers Film Festival, TGIM, thank God it's Monday. We have a very special guest with us tonight, Evgenia Radilova. I'm probably saying it, every time I say it, I feel like
Oh, it's great.
I'm saying it
You hit it
wrong.
right.
Okay. And we're going to be talking films. Those of you who come out to the Fort Myers Film Festival's TGIM, you know that we take a look at films in consideration for the Fort Myers Film Festival. And every time I say it, I got to turn down. And so one thing that we're going to do now is we're going to try to give people the feel of TGIM. I'm going to see if I can't play a little something for you guys. So hold tight. Let's see if this works.
Oh my God. Oh, beautiful.
The weekend's gone and it's not the same, 'cause Monday's off, damn Monday. Wish I had something to do tonight. Well, what once felt wrong now feels so right. Watching indie films on a Monday night with my friends while I intellectualize. Thank God that it's Monday. Thank God that it's Monday. Thank God that it's Monday, yeah. Thank God that it's Monday. Will I love it? Will I hate it?
Leslie.
Will I watch it and debate it? Those critics with their movie eyes. Will they make me laugh and they make me cry? Some so bad that I want to die, but instead I pass the mic and I intellectualize. Thank God that it's Monday. Thank God that it's Monday. Thank God that it's Monday, yeah. Thank God that it's Monday.
Yay. Oh, how cool. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't be there in person.
Well, welcome everybody to TGIM. It's a lovely Monday night here, and I'm here in Fort Myers, coming to you from the lovely Southwest Florida. Your host for the evening for what we're calling a very special at home. Thank God it's Monday. We have a very special guest with us today, and we're going to be talking a little bit with her. I left messages for those who are just tuning in now. You can actually join the video session with us. So request to log in, and if you have some questions with it for Evgenia, or just you just watch, it's fine, hang out. We do hope everyone out there is being safe and being proactive as Florida anyways, upstarting our business, many of our businesses. And we know the Fort Myers Film Festival was set to actually run this coming week, May 6th through 10th. We have rescheduled and we postponed it just for the sake of safety. And we are working with all of our sponsors and venues to come up with a good time frame. So down the road, we do have films selected and films that will screen, and some will probably screen online during all of this. Great films and films that you guys helped actually select through TGIM. So we thank you for doing that. And in the meantime, though, I want to let you guys know a little bit about Evgenia, who's with us today. She is an actor and producer and director, model, file, sorry, fire twirler, and international woman of mystery. She comes from Bulgaria, where you became one of the best known faces on screen and on stage. Your film Patrick screened at the 2019 Fort Myers Film Festival. She actually came here to Fort Myers, and we had a lot of fun getting to know her. We do love some
It was the
Evgenia.
best time.
It was so good. And she's a sneaky smucker, whatever that means. Her latest short is called El Cavil. Has been accepted in the 2020 Fort Myers Film Festival. Her current projects include Los Cos, which is a cosplay film that you're working on. She's also done, I had no idea the depth of your talent, to be honest with you, Vampirina, and has worked most recently on CBS Limitless. Please welcome with me, Evgenia Radilova.
Wow. Thank you so much, Eric. What a welcome.
Well, it's an honor to have you here. I don't know where to start. I mean, I want to talk about what you want to talk about. I mean, I guess first, I mean, how's it going? You're in New York, right? So how's it going out there?
Well, first, I want to say thank you. And I want to say that I absolutely love Fort Myers Film Festival. It was my first festival that I went with my first film last year. And, you know, there's no other experience that could compare with the warmth of the people, with the way you welcome everyone, the way you promote everyone, the way you treat everyone. It's just a big family of movie buffs that I love so much. Thank you for having me once again this year, and hopefully we'll see each other again later on. It's great that you're postponing, and I'm actually not in New York. I ran away.
You ran so far away.
I ran so far away, and I'm sorry I'm crying, but it's because of the sun. I'm actually in California.
Okay, I was gonna say it's light there.
Yeah, you know, excuse me just for 1 second, and I'm gonna put this scarf like this on top of my
okay.
computer. Is so shiny. So my husband works here for the past 3-4 years, so we've been back and forth. He has a little farm, and I just grabbed my kitty and came with a tiny little suitcase. And I'm really grateful for this place right now, because stuck in New York would be a very difficult thing. And so, yeah, the one downside is that I don't have good internet. So basically I'm in my car. I can show you. On the top of the hill. I don't know if you can really see.
Well, you're transmitting good, so that's good.
North California.
North California, very nice.
Yeah.
Well,
and this is my husband. Isn't that funny? He's just arriving on his bike. Well, that's kind of weird. I'm sorry, but
we're just talking. It's totally professional relationship.
I'm so sorry. Well, we're having a little interview with my lovely husband, Jay-Ron.
Great to meet
Hey, Jay-Ron. You got a farm out there in North California. I hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't hear him, but...
It's okay. We'll see you later. Bye.
Okay.
I'm so sorry about this.
I'm curious. Don't be sorry, but I'm curious. Did you let him know in advance that you were going to the car to be on a...
Yeah,
finding out for the first time?
He was no, he knew. He was in town actually, so he's just going back home.
Honey, what are you doing in the car? Who is that on your Zoom feed?
Oh no, he knows. Yeah, he knows. Plus, he's a very laid back person. He wouldn't.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So I'm glad you're safe and glad you're well. And you know, I know that we're all excited to see El Cavil playing at this festival. If you want to talk about that, can you tell us what it was like to make this is a 2020 selection for the Fort Myers Film Festival. It's your second production that you've sent to us, and we loved it. Tell us what you were thinking when you made it, and what made you get involved with this project.
Oh, thank you. So this film has a long story. Again, because my whole life I was an actor, and I am an actor. And very recently I transitioned to directing. Um, when I took a directing class in my Bulgarian academy, maybe like 15 years ago. Oops.
What?
We had, well, yeah, something like that. We had a directing class, only one class, 1 month. And I wrote both stories in this class, Patrick and El Cavil. They were both coming out from kind of like directing exercises. And years later, when this directing came to me again, um, I turned to these stories and really made them into film. So they're really special for me. El Cavil is a story that firstly I acted on the stage by myself back home. It was a theater piece, so it's it's a commentary on Charlie Chaplin. It's a silent film, but in color, and it's about a homeless man who loves his work more than anything he loves on this world, which is to polish shoes. And he really believes in the tradition that if you have a shine on your shoes, you're going to have a melody in your heart and you're going to have a better day. And it's just that's what it takes. But no one really has time for him or believe in that. And so he goes by throughout the days without really money or anybody to recognize him. So out of desperation, there comes this like a moment where you know you kind of help yourself. I don't want to really say what happens because I want to leave it as kind of up to the audience to see the film. But he comes to the realization that he can help himself by basically polishes his own shoe. And so the film ends on a positive note. um, and yeah,
Are you giving it away a little bit? Are
i'm
you
a
giving?
I'm a little bit of giving it
You,
away.
but that, it's interesting. Now that
I'm
you
trying
now that
not
you,
to.
now that you broke the plot a little bit, now that everyone
Yeah.
knows, it is interesting. Sometimes you need to figure he's a shine shoes, and he has more excitement in shining shoes than I've ever seen in anyone. I'm curious at who inspired you for this character, but he does tend to find that he finds his self love before he can love and accept love from others. Is this something that is a theme that resonates you for any particular reason?
Yes, I think that this definitely is something that haunts me in my life, and I love to make stories and be interested in human life and what makes you who you are, um, and just yeah, what makes you the human that you are, and what makes you feel pain, what makes you feel discomfort. So talking about humans is kind of what I like the most. And this is a portrait of a guy who I knew from my mother's theater. She was a actress in Bulgaria, quite famous actress at the time I was younger. And her shoe maker in the theater, they had their own theater with their own costume designer, their own shoe people, and they work for all the costumes, um like Broadway, big theaters. So he was a guy who loved polishing shoes, and I loved his character. He was a much older guy, but Shashwat Gupta, who plays our El Cavil, is I don't know, when I saw him and I met him, he's a wonderful actor from India. It just dawned on me and just said, boom, El Cavil. That's El Cavil. He's the only one who can who can act it out, because he has the kind of the feel of Charlie Chaplin, but younger. And as I mentioned before, this was an exercise that I did in a directing class, where I was given 3 words: a shoe, a dirty towel, and a broken umbrella. And they said, go ahead and write a story. And so that's where the story came from. Years later, when I turned into directing again from my first music video, which is called True Paradise, and then into Patrick, and then I just wanted to make movies and nothing else. Said, what is the next story that I have? And that was El Cavil, which I've already written. And so this story I actually played by myself on the stage as a theater piece. I made my own little house out of carton. I put meticulously every little paint, every little brush, every little sounds from people walking by, cluck, 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 tuk, 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 chuck, chuck, chuck. And so, my character was responding with the people walking around. And but this time I wanted to find an actor who can play the role, and I focused on directing. So that's a little bit the story behind it.
Well, it's great.
I hope that inspires people to see that little things can really brighten your life. We're always so in a rush, and especially now in this time, where we can step and look at each other's face and just recognize each other, or say no thank you, or instead of just rushing by. And so at this little moment, I think it's very important of acknowledgement of anyone, really.
Well, I think it's beautiful, and I think that that's something that we're seeing in your films, is a real tender sensitivity towards everyone, and that's something that we've always liked to see, films with heart, films that make a difference. And so yours have certainly been that way. I know that there are people who are watching now who may have a comment or a question for Evgenia.
Oh, great.
Please feel free to click those in. I'm monitoring them. I'm keeping track of these comments. So thank you. So if they come, I will share an interesting story. I do remember when we first accepted your film, the first film that came last year. A lot of people, yes, a lot of people said, that is so cool. And I remember when I first watched it, I just remember thinking, yes, this is good. I don't always. I have a group who recommends what films should be in the festival, and I don't always take a close look at who made the film. I tend to be a curator who looks, at the finished product, and I think it's interesting because I was getting some calls actually, and they were from NBC, and they said, we were interested in how many of your films are made by female directors. And I said, I honestly, I don't know. And what was interesting is that I said, I'll look though. And I looked, and as I was going through, I had about 50% female, film producers and directors.
Oh, wonderful.
And I remember them saying, Eric, you really, you get it. It's like, you get it. You understand that it needs, it's not a man's world, and it needs to be diverse. And I was just like, I didn't do it on purpose,
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I think that it's
okay.
No, go ahead. No, but I remember thinking, as your background came out, I started following you on Twitter and Instagram, and then I see that you're this fire dancer, and your background and your history from Bulgaria, and you started a community called Lost Coast. You developed a character, Vampirina, where you're and I don't know which of the two you're most excited talking about, Lost Cause or Vampirina. I feel like Vampirina.
Well, they're one.
They're really all in one.
Yeah, so they're really one thing.
Can you tell us about Vampirina a little bit, and then how that transitioned into Lost Cause?
Sure. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And it's actually Vampirenia.
Oh,
that's the one mistake, is Vampirenia, because it comes from Evgenia.
Oh.
we made our own characters. So basically, this is a character based on the original comic book character, which is Vampirella. She was a woman who was a vampire who was brought on Draculon. This is the original story. However, I'm not going to talk about the original story of Vampirella, even though I can talk for hours.
Well, it's interesting because they had some copyright to the original, so you developed a new character totally separate from the original, because it gets tricky when you're making a film and you're creative.
Right.
You get to check permissions on all this. So
Right.
you
So
talk a lot about it, but you transition this character into your own character. So maybe is that enough setup for the story? I don't know.
Exactly. No. I'll keep going. I hope I'm not talking too
Oh no.
all over the place. But so I was approached a couple of years ago by a dear friend of mine, Jeff Scott, who Jeff LeConte, I'm so sorry, who works with Lost Cause Photography. And he said, I'm shooting Vampirella and you are it. And I was like, okay, who? So I didn't really know anything about this character. And he introduced me to this vampire, said, this is her. And I agreed. And usually I don't like a lot of, these things like, who do you want to be like? Who's your favorite actor? Like, I want to be me. And I kind of don't want to look like somebody else. So cosplay didn't really appeal to me too much. But when I put on this costume for the first time and I put it became just a role. It became an actor's role. And I found myself incredibly sexy in these crazy outfits that we were wearing. And so the possibility that this role can have at this time of my life, and me being able to combine the whip work that I do with the fire work that I do. So I started to imagine this character as a show. And really,
I have to stop you because when you say whip work and the firework, it's so understated. You're dressed as a vampire in a trikini with full-on makeup, hair wild. You have whips that you've trained in whippery, and
I guess so. Yeah.
And fire torches, which there's not just like one torch. There's multi, like if you can imagine 7 to 10 fire torches that you swing. I almost want to after this thing I'll post a couple on this post so people can see if they look up if okay, so you do this tremendous work which requires the skill of dancing, the safety of a fire marshal, and okay, so just anyway, back to
thank you so much. That's been just a blessing for me, because fire I learned because I was just a very crazy gypsy like kid in Bulgaria. Nobody was doing it, but I saw these tourists who were dancing with fire, these fireballs, and I got drawn to it. I asked them, I wanted, they at the end they sold it to me, and so I started to practice on my own and taught myself, but I never did anything with it until I came to America. And I realized that I don't know any English, and I still had to find a job. And I was giving like miserable little jobs, like giving flyers 2-3 hours away, from the city for like $6 an hour. And then I saw this 20 people community of fire dancers just walk in and do this big, massive fire show.
Those exist.
And I was,
okay.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, I can do that. So I introduced myself to them. And then for the next year, I got into an incredibly shortcutted places because of the fire. And it's just been an incredible journey. So I wanted to incorporate the skills that I have into this character, which is very versatile. And she's a protector of women. She has had a very traumatic past, and now she realizes that she can become her own superhero and protect women in the name of, you know, the past and what happened to her. And we are creating our own superheroes from scratch in order, you know, so we don't get into any troubles with copyright.
Right.
But this is where the most fun begins, because we literally create every single thing in the show. Our director and writer is Robin Dalla Vita. He is a 3-time Tony winner for different productions on Broadway that he produced. He's produced a lot of shows all over the world. And this is kind of like his first directorial debut. My first big producer debut, as well as starring in it. And
Is who?
yeah.
Who? What? Who's starring in it? What?
Me.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. How far along are
Yeah.
you in the production? Can you tell us? Have you shot some? Are you editing some?
Yeah, so we've shot about 60%. We kind of got interrupted because of the pandemic, and a little bit. There is something that, you know, always things happen for a reason. Maybe it's better just to take our time, because we were always like, go, 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 no, do it. And so now it's just, okay, we can look back what we have, and so we're about halfway of the process. But since this past summer, we had 2 pages of script with this big idea, and now before December we ended up with 60 pages and 130 people, cast and crew, which I'm very happy to say that I've casted a lot of the people that I work with, and you know, I know through the Actors Studio and through jobs that I've done. So it's kind of like a big project. Oh, I also, you know, it involves a lot of character, a lot of costumes. So I'm using all of the New York Underground performers, who are literally the top performers of New York Underground Live, of cabaret, of you know, these places, and like beautiful burlesque, you know, all kinds of
That's
crazy
really
New York
fascinating.
style.
That's cool. Is that a crazy? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's so much professionalism, but getting that type of group together to stay on
I mean,
point
that
with
was
a film.
yeah, that was one of the most satisfying moments, that I can literally work with all of my friends. And I felt like a producer, because I was like, okay, so you are going to be for this and you're going to do that, and you know, I mean, of course everybody helped. So Jeff he was the casting director for the cosplayers, because they're very specific type, and a very specific community, which actually, you know, what I want to talk about is that community. What the main purpose of the show is to shed light on the cosplay community, because we realize how much work and how much heart and soul these people put into their costumes. And we think that it's underappreciated, because they go they build their costume for a year to go to one convention, and so that's it. They don't have a hub where they can hang out with, or clubs, or so. We're trying to create the first TV cosplay series with the first cosplay bar that can highlight cosplayers and bring them to life. So my character is a cosplayer, and she has an act that is performed live in the club, that brings all the characters together, and things, you know,
Yeah.
flourish.
When are we going to be able to see this? It sounds really exciting.
Oh, well, you can check on www.lostcause.com. That's lost,
www.lost.
yeah. cause.com.
Okay, I just put that in there. Where else can we find you? We've been trying to keep these to about a half an hour just for a few reasons.
Oh, okay, sure.
No, but
yeah.
I'm not cutting you off, and I'm sure to
Okay.
call you later. But I
Yeah.
want to make sure I put in here where else where we can follow you,
Great.
find
You can follow me on Instagram with my name, Evgenia Radilova. So this is EVGENIYA That's my website.
Got
could
it.
be www, as well as Instagram.
Okay.
Write me a message. Very shortly, I'll have my film Patrick on Amazon Prime.
Well, let us know when
And
that
short-
is available, so we'll be sure to talk about it here and let everyone know.
Yeah,
we'll
so
let
it could
everyone know who saw it and
great.
who missed it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you
yeah.
for creating these wonderful nights and keeping, keeping the creativity going in these hard times. And
Thank you.
I love you guys so much, and Leslie and Melissa and all of you.
Well, we love you back, and I feel like it was too short of a time, and you have so much going on. It's hard to keep up with busy
We'll
people.
do it again.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
I'm here. We're available now, and I put a little makeup for you.
You did it. Well,
which was the first time, not for you, for for the audience. But
I happen to wear this.
makeup.
I wear the tie and suit actually.
I saw
all the time in the middle of a pandemic. I'm literally walking around still.
Perfect.
From my waist up, tie and nice wool coat here. No, I'm just kidding.
Stylish. You have.
I dressed up for you too. I dressed up for you too, Evgenia. Well, it's a real pleasure.
Lovely.
Thank you for coming on TJM tonight. For everyone who's tuning in, be sure to check us out next week or leading up until when we are back live and in person. TJM Fort Myers Film Festival. Follow us on Facebook and sign up for our subscription. And it's big cheers for Evgenia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
You guys be safe up there.
Bye bye.
Good night, everybody.
Stay safe.
See you guys next time.